Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAMP&CHANCE Wrestling. On this episode, we are going to go back to Saudi Arabia, take a look at the King and the Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. Also, AEW Double or Nothing, or just Double way too long. All this and so much more on this episode of SAMP&CHANCE Wrestling. So sit back, relax, and thank you for letting us into your ears. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAMP&CHANCE. I am your host, Bobby Sampson. He is Mr. Chance Michaels. Mr. Michaels, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good, man. A little bit of technical difficulties here and there, but that's okay. We always bounce back because we're the best in the West. How's your Tuesday going so far?
Pretty good, man. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Awesome. Good day at the gym?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it wasn't heavy, but good.
Good stuff, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm really happy and really proud of what you're doing in there, man.
Thank you.
It's a testament. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, brother man. I tell you what, let's get into this because we do not want to run the show 5 hours like AEW likes to do. So let's just get right into it, man. Will Double or Nothing, or King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring?
Double or Nothing. Let's do it.
All right, let's do Double or Nothing. Let's see if we can do it quicker than they got through the whole show. The one benefit they had, they were in Vegas. I mean, these shows are way too long, brother.
It's ridiculous.
Right, but the one benefit we have is we're on the West Coast, right? So even if it goes 4 hours, we still have our whole evening ahead of us, right? If your demographic is children, which a big part of their demographic is, if you're gonna do a Sunday pay-per-view, man, at least have some decency. Like, I mean, kids were up till like almost midnight. If
On the East Coast, yeah, it's outrageous.
right? If any parents let them stay up that late to continue watching. But let's get into it, man. Will Ospreay against Roderick Strong. Man, this was a pretty good match. I'll be honest. I didn't know
Great match, yeah.
Just from this, like you said in the past, like a lot of these matches are just kind of put together. And we really don't have a background to it. In the case of this one here, like Will Ospreay's kind of in purgatory. He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. It's just like where's he
And that goes to show you Tony Khan doesn't know what he's doing. You either send him one way, man. Like, why on the fence? Like, I think he should have been a heel after he took the shots at Triple H and WWE. But then, like you said, he's straddling the fence. We don't know what he is. He's a great wrestler. We know that much. But I thought it was a good way to kick off the show. I agree with Tony on that. That was a banger of a match. It showed me that we all know Will Ospreay is going to outperform Roderick Strong. They're not even the same stratosphere, but Roderick held his own. He did some good moves. He looked strong. He looked fast. Like, he was able to keep up with Will Ospreay, one of the best athlete wrestlers in the world. The only part I didn't like about the match is when Will Ospreay took that hard bump outside on the canvas, hit his head, banged his neck, however you want to call it. He barely sold it. 2 minutes later, a minute later, he was fine. That's the problem with AEW. You got to sell that a little bit. That's a massive fall. The way you look like you broke your neck, and then all of a sudden you're fine in a minute. Even if you are, you have to sell. This is wrestling. It's make believe. But just sometimes it's just, yeah. It was a good match though.
Yeah, I get that. Some of my takeaways from this were, Jesus was in the crowd. That was kind of cool. Number two, I also liked a lot was the sequence between Taven and Bennett with Ospreay in the timekeepers area.
Yeah, that was good.
Really cool. But like I said, hats off to Roderick Strong. He stayed with him, and it takes two to tango, right? So I mean, they work really well together. There is some chemistry there. I don't know if this is going to continue, what they're going to do here.
I don't think so, man. I think they're going to move on.
Right, and we're going to move on from that match. But yeah, right now, as it stands, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. After watching the whole card, that probably was the best match, man.
Definitely, I think so.
Right. All right, let's move on. Bang Bang Gang against the Death Triangle Trios title on the line. My takeaways from this: Pac selling the DDT almost too realistically. The matching costumes, because this is something that Pentagon and Ray Phoenix don't do very often, but all three were kind of matching. But the Bang Bang Gang retains the titles with a returning Juice Robinson. We're not going to get into the details of all the matches. We'll just kind of break them down. Right. But I mean, those were the kind of the highlights that I took. But
Pac is definitely one of the best workers they have. He's got the build, he's got the speed, he's got the intensity, he's got the work rate. I mean, he's definitely a top 5 in-ring guy. maybe not great character, but in ring, he's one of their best.
Yeah. He lacks character. That's the thing, and I think that's what hurts him. And to become
He's
that guy.
never going to have it. He's been in the game for over 10 years. If you don't have it by now, you're never going to get that character. It's been too long. He's a great worker though, but he's never going to be a upper echelon guy because he can't talk on the stick and he's got no swagger.
Yeah. But I mean, the match was good though. It was a decent match. I
Hell of
mean,
a wrestler.
matches were good in their own way, right? But they, but as the time progresses and he gets deeper and deeper into these things, just crazy. But anyways, after the match, Adam Cole comes out, which is rare because during their pay-per-views, they tend to just kind of package match. So there's really no interactions or anything else like that. But here's Adam Cole. He's out, talking about what's coming up, what's going down, and this and that. He starts running people down, and sure enough, the music hits, and here comes MJF. Spray tan to the max. That's one thing that I really noticed. They got to even that out, do a better job of it. But yeah, he was wearing the jean jacket with the leather arms, very like Triple H. I don't know if that was a shot at him or if
Absolutely, it was a shot at him. 100% it was.
Like that, right?
And good for MJF for doing something like that. He's got a little bit of guts, a little bit of balls to take some shots at this guy. Triple H ain't kingmaker here, so I'm glad he did that on purpose. That was purposely done.
Look,
and he looked great. He came back in great shape.
No, he came back in great shape, and he talked his talk, and it was I was refreshed to see him. I really missed that guy. I missed seeing him. I didn't realize how much I missed him, right? In terms of just seeing him out there, and to have him back, and he's talking like, he threw away the devil's mask, he threw away the gimmicks. He goes, I'm gonna be back to what I used to be. So let's see where this goes. I mean, I guess he's got a built-in story with Adam Cole that he has to get through here, but what I would love to see eventually is him and Ospreay get together. I think that would just be an amazing.
Yeah, but Ospreay's good in the ring, but he can't talk very well, and he has no character.
But
that's the problem here.
But MJF could carry that and build him up to that. I think.
I don't think so. I think Will Ospreay is a glorified indie guy, but amazing in the ring. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying he's one of the great worker. But as far as character and stick work, after a certain amount of time, if you don't have it, you're never going to have it.
Well,
it takes time, but he's been in the game for how long? So.
Right, but he's never been in an environment where he's needed to expand on that, right? Like all the other markets that he's ever worked on, ring work and action in the ring is what's dictated to the fans in Japan and Europe, right? Stick work and that character work is more of a North America thing, in my opinion, right?
Well, he's in North America, so he's got to step it up.
Right. So let's give him 5-6 months. He's just got here. Let's give him some time. Let's see what he can
I've seen that AEW for 5 years. They're not able to create many stars. They're not able to give character. You either have it or you don't. And Will in the ring is amazing. On the stick, the way he carries himself, he's just a glorified indie guy. I hate to say that, but that's just the reality of it. I'm not going to lie about it.
No, that's fine. And I'm going to be on the other side. I'm going to say, let's give him a little bit of time. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think if he has a little time, he's with the right people in this environment, not the Japanese environment, not European, Mexico, in this environment. Let's see what he can do. Let's give him a couple months to see what he can do. All right, Tony Storm, Serena Dweeb, AEW Women's Championship. Pretty standard match, man. I'll be honest. I was really happy with, I love Tony Storm. I think her character is amazing out of all the women on both federations and on both programs. She's just fun to watch, and she's really, developed this character deeply, man. But you know what, man? She's like, the fans are gravitating to her. She's trying so hard to be a heel, but they love her. They truly love her, man. They turned on Dweeb, and you could see that in the match. Like, she's looking at the crowd like, what are you guys doing? I'm the face. So I mean, that was fun. I mean, it was a good match overall. Dweeb's an amazing performer, right? So it was a good match. It was decent. It was what it was. Some of the counters and the transitions and submission holds were pretty cool. So I mean,
yeah, it was decent,
right? I mean, I'm trying to find good things here, bro.
No, that was all right. Like, it was nothing special. Like, I mean, she's popular with the AEW crowd, but that's a very, very small crowd. But yes, in their little bubble that she's in, yes, she's
well, look at
the most popular girl.
Talk about the crowd. They couldn't even sell at the MGM Garden.
Yep.
And this is their biggest. But dude, this is their biggest show of the year. Like, this is like
one of them, yeah.
Well,
I mean, that in Revolution or
no. But in terms of this is the show that started everything 5 years ago. So this is their kind of, baby of the bunch. So you figure, okay, MGM Grand, it's a pay-per-view. That would sell out. They didn't even sell that out. We've been in there. We know how many people it holds. It shouldn't be a hard sell.
No, but we also take for granted what Vinny did to bring WWE to the global stage, and Tony Khan couldn't even carry Vinny's bag. So I mean,
No,
he's
I
just no.
get all that, but it just
I hear what you're saying. They should have at least filled it out. But when you got a bunch of guys that aren't in shape, that look like indie guys, you're not going to get the casual guy in there, man or woman, and that what sells the building out. You got the hardcore marks in there, sure, that's fine and dandy.
Look
But
at the
appeal to the
England
average
shows.
guy.
Look at their two England shows that they have, the WWE Clash at the Castle in Scotland and at Wembley. Now, AEW's had about 5 to 6 months to sell tickets for that show. They got to 40,000 in 6
Pretty
months.
good.
WWE got to 45,000 in fucking 3 hours.
Well, yeah, WWE's the NFL. Well, what Vinny's created, nobody will ever touch what he's done.
Yeah,
And that's an unfair advantage.
But just,
But
I
AEW
wish
is number two, but they'll never get to that level.
I just wish they could do a better job because, okay, look, I can get house shows and stuff, but your big shows, they should be sold out.
Yeah, but they don't have it. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a genius behind them like Vinny. They just got Tony Khan, who's a hardcore indie fan who wants wrestling that he likes. Vinny didn't put on wrestling that he likes. He put on wrestling that he thought everybody would like. And that's how you branch out. When you think two indie guys in a bingo hall would be amazing on national television, well, dude, you're going to get 700,000 people watching it because people don't care. Tony doesn't understand that.
Here's the difference between Tony Khan and Vince McMahon. Everything you said about Tony Khan is right. Here's an example of McMahon. Okay. There was an incident between Seth and Kofi in the ring. They were doing a program together. All right. But he wanted Seth to be looking good going into the pay-per-view, but that wasn't happening. Kofi wasn't doing what Vince wanted him to do. Vince came out during the match in front of everyone, took them to the back, explained to him what he wanted, and made them come back out and do it again.
Mm-hmm. The leader.
Right?
Yep.
That's during a live show. Right?
He's done lots of stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. But that's an example of what Tony should probably be doing, but he doesn't have that yet, right?
So it's never going to. It's never going to. This is the peak of AEW here. Actually, they're at their lower than their peak than it once was. This is where they're going to be 700,000-800,000 people watching Dynamite a week, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things. And Double or Nothing will get 10 to 12,000 people, and once in a while a big show in England, but they're never going to expand until he gets out of his indie ways.
All right, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, a match that we probably didn't need on this card, but was on here anyways. Orange Cassidy came out, won. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I get tired. Like Orange Cassidy, like my kid likes him, and the kids like him. When I watch this guy, it's fun sometimes, but then it gets a little bit corny after all the hands in the pocket thing and doing that. Like it's fun for a little bit, but then it gets a little cheesy. At least he's entertaining, I guess. Can't knock him for that.
It was a hard-hitting match. I mean, if you want to look at the little details, Orange Cassidy always wears a white T-shirt. He's wearing a black T-shirt, to show how disgruntled he was with everything that was going on. Trent Beretta changed his ring gear up a little bit to kind of match his new attitude. And he wasn't holding back. I mean, this was a pretty, I almost felt like a shoot fight in a way because, I mean, Cassidy was already bruised up.
They were stiffing each other a little bit, which is good to see.
They were going a little tight there. But, yeah, I mean, it had its moments, don't get me wrong, but we've seen this match play out over the last 4 weeks on Dynamite, just didn't make sense. All right, here we go. Jericho versus Hook against Shibata for the FTW title, sorry. Jericho won again. He beat Hook and Shibata.
It's mind-blowingly ridiculous to even have that match and to have Jericho win. And I'll be honest, I only watched 2 minutes, so I changed it now. Jericho, okay, yeah, he's a legend, but he's so out of shape now. He barely is moving. You don't need to keep putting him out. There doesn't need to beat Hook and then let the young guys win it. Let Jericho do commentating. Let him be a manager. Like his stick is getting very, very tiresome.
Yeah, well, I
didn't want to watch it. Like I'm changing this.
Well, he got the victory, thankfully because of Big Bill, AK Cass, Big Cass. He looked pretty good out there. You froze again, bro. Hello.
I'm right here, dude.
Okay, you froze again.
Oh yeah, well, yours are still going. I'm still here.
All right, I'll edit it out. We're too deep now. All right, yeah. So Big Cass came out, to help him get the victory and what have you. So I mean, that's one way of selling it. But yeah, you're right, Jericho, and he's wearing the little kachi. I haven't seen him wear that in ages, man.
Jericho is, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just tired of it. I think it's time to let the younger guys go. And not saying not to have him there, but you don't need to see him wrestle on a big pay-per-view like that. I don't know. This wasn't for me. I watched him as a match and I switched it.
Okay, here we go. So Moxley is the champion for New Japan. All right, going into this match, this was a title eliminator. So if Takashita wins, then he would get the title shot against Moxley, right? So this was to determine if he gets the title shot, which makes no sense. Just put the title.
That's horrible booking.
Just put the title on the line. Anyways, Mox defeats him. Pretty straightforward.
We're gonna have a match. Let's get this straight. We're gonna have a match. The belt's on the line, but if you beat me, you don't get my belt. You got to fight me again.
Right. But here's
Yeah.
the interesting part of this match here. These two matches, this is the first of two that we'll talk about, where the manager caused his own guy to lose. One
Yeah.
here was with Don Callis when he came in and he threw, I think was a chair. Yeah, he threw a chair in the ring to help what's his name? It's a guy, Tashida. But it never got used, and then he was able to use it to bang his head onto it and get the victory. Moxley, that is. So yeah, here's an example, one example tonight of the manager causing his own guy the match. I don't know if this is something they're going to build off of or whatnot, but it's an interesting angle.
It was, to me, when I seen that, I was like, what's the point of this match? You have to beat me to have a title shot, but if you don't get my belt, the title's on the line. Like, it's just,
I think it was just a match to put in there, man.
yeah, but there's so many other matches that don't do it or make a different stipulation. Don't bother with it. This is just Tony Khan having fun, booking indie matches, indie style with indie characters that he thinks people are gonna love. Dude, you're getting 700,000 people watching your show. They're not loving it. Why don't you understand that? I don't know why he doesn't get that.
Fair enough, man. Adam Copeland, Malachi Black for the TNT title in a barbed wire steel cage. I thought this match was okay. I mean, these
Yeah,
guys,
this is good. I like this one.
It was a lot of fun. Just to let you know, Edge is got knee surgery now. He hurt something, so he's going to be out for a little while. I think it was from when he took that bump from jumping off the top of the cage.
Yeah, I gotta give Edge credit. He's 50 years old. He's still putting his boy in line. He shouldn't be doing that at this age. There's no point. But he loves it, so I can't knock him for it. But yeah, he took a lot of bumps, and
quote
it was a good match.
Quote from Edge, yeah,
there, but you knew was going to happen.
Quote from Edge, yeah, I'm 50. I should know better. That's what he's basically saying. But we had the return of Gangrel. I don't know if he's going to be around, but he came in from this. He came from underneath the ring. Very interesting. Like I know that he has the rights to his music and stuff, but I don't know if he had the rights to the Brood stuff. Because I mean they were doing a lot of the stuff, very WWE.
Well, they didn't call it the Brood. He just doing Brood stuff, so he can do it.
No, but they kept calling it the Brood in commentary. They kept referencing.
Oh, did they? Oh,
okay. Yeah. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like
I'll say one thing about Gangrel. I met him about 4 or 5 times. He always wrestled in the DC. That guy, he'll still take bumps on the floor. He's a super nice guy. He's actually quite a big guy. You don't realize how big these guys are. Some of these guys, you meet him in person, but he's a super good guy. And every time I come out here, he always wrestles hard. He never been like, I won't mention some other legends. They won't take a backdrop. They won't take a bump at all. They just want to punch and kick. But he said, hey, I'm down to do anything. He got hit with chairs. He can go on the floor. So he's a cool guy. So I'm glad to see him come out there and get a little bit of shine. This has been in the works for a while. So I'm glad he was out there.
Yeah, I mean, this match was brutality to the max, man. I mean, it's just like within the 2 minutes, Malachi was already cut open with the barbed wire.
That was a good match, very strong match.
Yeah, and then Edge taking that barbed wire, wrapping it around to do that, to what's that move called?
What do you mean? When he tore it on his neck?
Yeah. No, we're the one where he kind of, it's like Cena did it, Bryan Daniels, label lock, I guess. Yeah, the label lock.
Okay.
Like the submission, but he put the barbed wire in his mouth opposed to putting a metal bar in there.
Oh, yeah. He goes like this.
Yeah. So the label lock. So I mean, that was a pretty solid move there. But both guys worked really, really hard. I mean, if it wasn't for the Ospreay match, I would have called this the best match on the card.
You could make an argument that this could, if you like the hardcore stuff, this could have been the best match. It was definitely one of them. It was a great match, and Edge is still going pretty hard for 50, man. He works a lot harder than Jericho does. He's a way better. Maybe he has less injuries.
Look, I mean, having 10 years off helps also.
Yep.
But I mean, you can quickly become injured again. I mean, look at Randy Orton; his knee's all messed up, and he's only been back at 3 months.
Horrible finish of that match. What a dud that was. We'll get that later.
Yeah. So okay, Willow Nightingale against Mercedes Moné for the TBS title. Here again, we have the manager costing it's Willow the title here. Obviously, she was going to win. We both predicted it. Just kind of what they want to do with it. But at the end of the match, we had Willow's team turning on her, and I guess that kind of sets that up in that direction. I don't know where they're going to go with Mercedes now, or
Nobody
who's
does, dude. It's Tony
online.
Khan. He doesn't even know where he's gonna go.
So yeah,
So
we
he's
got that.
no way to guess this now.
Okay, we're almost at the end here, man. So we're Strickland, Kristen Cage world title match. You know what? Okay, look, say what you want. It was an okay match. I mean, the right guy won.
That's not a main event match. That's not a main event.
Well, it wasn't the main event. It was the second to last match here, right?
I know, but that's supposed to be that's your heavyweight belt. I mean, that's your biggest belt. That to me felt like a mid card match at best. I mean, Christian tries. He's just old and slow. I can't blame the guy. He's in his 50s. It wasn't a very good match. They don't have very good chemistry. I don't understand what the story was. I don't understand why how it was Swerve early 30s. You're going to put him in to get the 50-year-old man who's way past. Like Ed, you can still go. Christian is. It's a hard time even moving around. Like, what's the point of this? It's just so dumb to watch. It just becomes stupid.
Well, the right guy won. Swerve won.
Yeah, I'm glad
right?
Swerve won at least.
You know, again, I guess we have to wait for Wednesday now to find out what's going to go on with him. And you know, like I said, hopefully we learn from this, right? I mean, they don't seem to be right. We keep saying the same thing over and over again, show after show about this promotion. You know,
but this is always what it's going to be because this is Tony Khan's playground. And he putting on wrestling that he wants to see. He's a hardcore mark, a hardcore fan.
Yeah,
he's going for the indie fan. He doesn't care about the casual guy. He doesn't care.
We change how we look at it as well, then, man. Because I mean, we just come off so negative on these guys every week.
No, I got probably more negative to say about WWE's King of the Ring and Raw than I got to say about AEW, man, because those are stunk out.
Bro, why do we even watch wrestling if we hate it so much?
I don't hate it, but I got to tell the truth.
Every week we just seem to shit on everything, like.
Because this is because of the guys who are running the show now. This is like I've been saying for a while.
It's never gonna go back to the way it was, bro. Either we accept what the product is and look for the best thing.
Yeah, but you can't accept something and watch something and lie about how you see it because I'm not telling the truth to the fans, and then I can't do that. I got to tell the truth.
No, I'm not saying it that way. But
so the thing is, some things are good, but most of wrestling right now is not that good. And that's I'd say about 80% of people you would ask would agree with that. We just have the voices to say it. So there's some good things, but at the end of the day, when you got two hardcore fans booking shows, they're booking it indie style, and the casual guys don't care, and that's the problem.
I implore you to come up.
Same with NBA. I love basketball. I used to watch basketball all the time. The product right now sucks. But the thing is, I love wrestling. Doesn't mean the product is good. I love basketball. I know the product is not good. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, you got me there. I hate NBA basketball.
I love rock and roll. The new bands aren't that great. That's just the reality. I love country music. The new country guys aren't that great. That's just how it is.
Fair enough.
Some guys are good, but the majority aren't.
You like country music?
Oh yeah, on my shirt.
Fair enough, man. Fair
enough.
Old school.
One of my heroes, yeah.
Old school country. All right.
Some of the newer guys, but
last match of the night, the Elite versus AEW. Wow. I mean, this was just discombobulated all over the place. It was not organized. I mean, they brought up
and then the camera work. You missed a lot of stuff. We don't know what was happening over here because it's all over the place.
They kept going back and forth. Whoever was in that truck had no idea which angle. Then they brought up the 4 screens, and then they went back and forth. It was just all over the place. But
badly planned.
We got to see a flamethrower. We got to see a guy get hung upside down. We got to see running shoes with thumbtacks sticking out of them. I mean, this was just a plunder match, right? I mean, the one thing I found interesting is they kept playing the theme music over and over again. Like first it was Darby's, they didn't turn it off. Then they played the final countdown. Then they played, the Elite's music. So that was interesting. I thought, okay, well, this is kind of cool. I mean, have the music going on in the background. And I guess by the time these guys finally got on, I'm surprised anyone was still feeling anything, but the crowd was into it, and they got it going on. And yeah, man, I think the one funny part of this match, and it wasn't really shown on TV, but I saw it from a fans footage that they took. Tony Khan rolling down the stage. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Right, that was hilarious. Like poor guy. And I said to you before that, I thought, okay, maybe this is the night Tony turns and becomes a part of the Elite, which I think is still going to happen.
I sure hope not. He's going to embarrass himself.
Well, bro, the way they're playing it out and the way they're booking
because the thing with Tony Khan, we all know. See, the thing is when I say things about Tony Khan and I talk about Triple H, I'm not saying they're a bad man out of what they do. I'm talking about their booking. Personally, they're great guys. However, Tony Khan is too nice of a guy. He doesn't have that jerk in him like Vince or Eric Bischoff did to join a crew. He's such a nice guy. He's a complete geek. You can't be in the Elite. You can't be a bad guy because it's just not believable because we all know how nerdy you are. And you're going to try to come out as a tough guy and you're just a little guy. It's just, I hope he doesn't do it because he's going to make himself look stupid.
I believe he's gonna do it, man, because
He might.
dude, the way they're booking everything, the way they're coming out, the
Mhm.
way they're doing is they're taking page by page of the NWO, changing some of the words and changing some of the faces, right, to kind of make it look different. But all things align to this kind of happening. I really believe it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just saying, Tony,
You know,
please don't do this.
at some
You're gonna
point,
look stupid.
here, something's going to give, and he's going to become a part of it. I
The
guarantee
thing
it.
about NWO, they're cool guys. The elite aren't cool. They're maybe bad guys in the AEW, but they're not cool guys. That I don't see one kid looking up to these guys. Oh my god, and any of their shirts on. It's like, come on, man, you guys are geeks.
NWO was cool until they went past the number 5.
I agree, but still, you see their shirts everywhere. People going nuts for these guys. Now you're looking at Young Bucks and Omega guys. Like they're not. Nah.
It's a different. I mean, okay.
No, it's a different era, but it doesn't make it good.
No, I
So
get it.
overall, this pay per view is way too long, way too long. 5 hours. I didn't watch 5 hours. I didn't watch the pre stuff because I'm not that hardcore of a fan to sit through a bunch of guys. I don't even know who they are. I watched most of the pay per view except for that Jericho Hook stuff because I just like couldn't watch it. Took a break, watched some highlights. Overall, 2 or 3 really good matches, a lot of duds, too many matches, and they're way too long. Every match is 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Give us an 8 to 10 minute match and get on with something else.
And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, brother.
I'm not saying it's going to change. We're giving you the review of it, right?
No. All I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you, I don't think they're planning on changing that ever.
No, they're not. But that's the thing. They're going to keep getting 70, 100,000 people, and nobody's going to watch the product until they realize that. Shorten it up a little bit. Some good things they do, but not every match will be 20, 25 minutes. It's too much. An 8-minute match can be good as a 20-minute match. It depends what you do in the time frame.
Yeah.
So 3 out of 5, way too long. My buddy who was there, he loves AEW. He's a big fan. He went to Everett. He flies all over for this stuff. Why I don't know, but he does it. And he said, "Man, that was too long." He flew all the way from Langley to watch the show. It's too long. 5.5 hours he was there. You get there a little bit early before the show, get a drink, get a shirt. It's about a 6-hour event. And he's like, "Dude, I was tired. My wife was tired." MJF was obviously, he said, the biggest highlight for most of the people there because he got that AEW tattoo on his leg. We don't know if that's real or it's just a press on. I don't know. But he said it was just too long and good show for him. He liked it, but way, way, way too long. Nobody wants to sit in the arena for 6 hours. I don't care if you're watching football, hockey, or a boxing card. 6 hours is too long to be in the arena. 3 hours, 4 tops, and that's it.
Unless it's double or triple overtime, that's the only time I think anybody wants to be in an arena, right? But I mean, that long. Even a concert should never be that long.
No.
Right? I mean, all right. Well, let's pack our bags and let's head over to Saudi Arabia and get into this show here, King of the Ring. It flew better. It flowed better. It had a better feel to it. It had the right amount of time to it. The crowd was exciting. They were really into it. Great backdrop. That alone makes this show better than the AW show. Just those little things, right? All right, let's get into it. Women's World Champion Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan. Liv takes the title here. Now, here's the deal. Becky has no contract. She has not re-signed with the WWE. Her contract expires June 1st, this Saturday. So, totally makes sense, I guess, in a way, to kind of take the belt off of her, not knowing what direction she is going into.
She's not going nowhere. It's the same thing. They pump this up with the Drews leaving, Seth, these guys. Becky's not going nowhere, man. Her husband works at WWE. She gets paid her too. She gets the belt.
He's re-signed.
No, I know. I'm saying everybody's making a big deal about it prior to Drew's not signed, WrestleMania, Seth's not signed. Becky ain't going nowhere. She's gonna take a couple weeks off. She's probably hurt. She's not leaving WWE.
I don't think she'll come back till SummerSlam if she does. They take a little time off now, just heal up, spend some time with their family. I mean, this woman's kept a very busy schedule considering everything she's done in ring, plus her book tour, plus all of it. So the girl probably just needs a day off, man, and then kind of go from there, sort of a deal. All right. Overall, this match was decent. I didn't have too many problems with it. Dom came out to try, and this is an angle I don't understand. If you're Rhea Ripley, do you rather fight an easy Liv Morgan, so to speak, or do you want to fight someone that actually can possibly beat you? So I don't see the whole dynamic of trying to keep the title off Liv. Let her have it. You come back, it's an easy win for you. In my mind, that's the way I would book it. But here's Dom, causes the problem, trying to help out Becky Lynch, but it backfires. She gets the oblivion onto the chair. and we got a brand new champion, a surprise to start it off. We both kind of predicted Becky would probably win.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad we got the belt. I get a little tired of Bailey's stick. You know, she's just the whole thing. So I'm glad she's gonna take a little bit of a break. Not saying she's not good, but it's nice to shake things up. It's a good way to start a pay-per-view. We get a title change, which nobody thought was coming. So good way to start it off.
Well,
I'm
it's
happy
kind of
Liv had it. We'll see what you can do.
yeah, but even in the commentating, I mean, one of the themes was with Michael Cole and Graves was a lot of talking about Liv always finishing in second place, runner up in the Royal Rumble, runner up here, this and that. So kind of putting all that into perspective and having her get that victory was pretty cool as well. What I really liked was the disarmer on the rope that Becky had there as well there. Pretty cool move. I thought that was kind of well placed and well done. But let's move on. Triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a match I was looking forward to. I think you were as well. Bronson Reed, Sami Zayn, and Chad Gable, man. Your thoughts on this?
It was a good match. We all knew Sami was going to win, which I don't think was the right decision. That was very predictable, but it was a good match. They worked. All three of them are good workers. All three have different styles, but it all blended well. You got Sami. He's looks like a construction guy, out of shape guy, but he moves well. He got a really good. He's got one of the best working. You wouldn't think that looking at the guy, but he's got one of the best working punches in wrestling. And Reed is just a big beast who moves well. And Gable is a superstar athlete. So yeah, it was a really good match. One of the best matches on the card. They kicked it out of the park on this one. It was a hell of a match.
Yeah,
I don't like how Sami won it, but whatever. Either way, it was a good match.
I almost feel this match was just to forward the Sami Gable Alpha Academy storyline along, and Bronson was just kind of in there, so to speak. I mean, they all had their moments and stuff, but really at the end of the day, a lot of it kept coming back to Sami, Otis, and Chad outside the ring, and ultimately the finish came here when Chad was holding Sami and Otis struggling with this thing, struggling with it, finally gives in, goes into there, deliver
to me, like it doesn't really matter who won this match. I like to see Gable and Reed have the belt. To me, because Sami is such a quirky, goofy-looking guy. If you take a picture of Sami Zayn and go into anywhere and say, "What does this guy do for work?" Nobody will tell you he's a wrestler. He'd say landscaper, gardener, whatever. But he's a great character, and I think he's better when he's chasing everybody around. He's making havoc. That's when I thought he did his best work, when he's chasing Roman Reigns around, trying to get the belt. To me, Sami is better when he's not a champion because he's such a good character, where I feel Bronson and Chad would benefit more from. But either way, it was a good match.
Well, like I said, I mean, it seems like some guys are better chasers for the title than actual champions, right? I mean, their story is chasing that belt. But I mean, highlights for me, Gable delivering a double stacks, German suplex to both guys. That was an extraordinary spot. Gable appeared, just I love Gable. I think he has
he's
a lot
good.
of
He's like a poor man's Kurt Angle. He's not as good as Kurt on Mike. He's not quite as built. He's not quite as fast. He's not quite as strong. But then again, not many guys are. That ain't a knock on Chad. Chad is still a legit supreme.
Well, the Saudi crowd, was giving him the "You suck" chant. So I mean, and that's the thing. This crowd was really hot too, man. The crowd
were good.
got into it. And if you look at the evolution of the Saudi crowd over the time that WWE has been running shows, they've gotten better and better with every show. It's almost like they look around. Are we allowed to say this? Can we do this? Because there's rules in that country. Speaking of rules, Mr. Paul's logo was not on the map.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, well, that's good. You don't have to have that every time.
That is because of the Saudis' regulatory laws and regulations in regards to energy drinks and sponsorship.
Yeah, well, that's their rules. That's their rules, right?
They don't push it. They don't push it. They don't want it. But yet there he was. He still had his green Prime bottle and things like that. Little things like that. But ultimately, that's why that stuff wasn't on the map. All right, let's go to the first match of the King and the Queen. We'll go to the Queen first. Lyra Valkyrie against Nia Jax. Winner becomes Queen of the Ring and also gets an automatic title shot at SummerSlam. So a 2-for-1 here. We already know what the SummerSlam, one of the main events for SummerSlam is going to be. And we get a new queen. Solid match. I like Lyra. I think she has the potential, and they're pushing her the way they're pushing. Like if you look at the new talent that's coming up, her, Bronson Reed, and Carmelo Hayes are the guys that they seem to have, most of their chips on in terms of elevating talent and bringing up new talent. This girl is great to watch. I really enjoyed watching her in NXT, and she was fun with Nia. I mean, they had a pretty good match here. And the way Nia won, yes, Nia won was probably the most believable way. She tried to get her, she was up on the top rope and Lyra got underneath trying to give her a power bomb off of it using the ring as the support, but it didn't work and she just got squashed. I wonder how much that actually hurt.
She felt it. I thought the match was okay. When Nia had to, this girl, nobody knows who she is. She just came from NXT. You have to give the ring, the queen of the ring to Nia. She deserves it. She's big. She's strong. We'll see what this girl can do in the future. This is a one-off match.
Oh,
NXT.
no. She's just beginning her path, man.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what I mean. So you can't give it to her. What I'm saying is, I can't watch NXT. I don't like it. I don't think it's very good. I get it. She came up. She's one of Triple H and Sean's boys. So they're going to push her. Let's see what she does. She didn't do bad. Won't knock her, but I'm glad Nia got the win. Good booking and
NXT. NXT is better than Dynamite.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I agree. I'm gonna stand to that.
Well, fair enough, but I won't watch NXT. It's like it's just too much wrestling to consume, right? And it's very indie style, and I don't mind indie wrestling. Trust me, I've helped create an indie company, but I'm not going to sit there for 2 hours and watch NXT. I got too much other stuff to do. I already watched Raw and Dynamite.
Man, I mean, I think AEW is indie, but there's a lot.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Man, it's a much better produced show. It's a better storylines. It's actually, there's continuity throughout the whole program. That for me just tells me it's a better.
Yeah, I just don't. I love Shawn Michaels. He's one of my favorites. I like Triple H too. I don't like the way they book, and I don't see what they see in some people. That's fine. I'm not there. That's their choice. But NXT is not bad, but it's just not for me. But anyways, Nia won, so I'm glad she won. It wasn't a bad match.
No, it was decent. I mean, just the way it ended, like no cheating, no outside interference. It was a clean cut win. So it looks like Bayley, if she's champion, is going to be defending against Nia at SummerSlam. That's going to be a fun match. We haven't seen those guys work in a while.
I know a lot of people love Bayley. I don't understand Bayley. She's been around for 10 years and her promos are so weak, and you haven't improved your promo skills and you've been around for 10 years, at least, whatever the number is. And it's just like, I don't get Bayley. Like, I like Nia Jax. I like Bianca. I like all them, but Bayley, to me, I don't know. I just don't understand their hype. That's me though. Just don't get it. I find her not very athletic, and I find her promos are very, very subpar, to put it nicely. That's me though.
All right, King of the Ring final, Randy Orton versus Gunther. Some controversy at the end of this match. These guys worked before, had great matches in the past. They just picked up where they left off. Gunther is a stud, man. I mean, this guy is world champion at some point. Maybe SummerSlam. Who knows if they're going to put it on him that quick. But I mean, based on what we know, Clash at the Castle, we got Drew versus Damian Priest for the title. I'm hoping Drew wins because I think we'll get a better match at SummerSlam between Drew and Gunther, like just in terms of quality of match and just in-ring work. But as it stands right now, Damian Priest is your champion. Gunther won the King of the Ring, but the controversy coming out of it is
that's what overshadows the match. It was a good match, but the botch finished.
But they didn't really build off of it. Even Triple H came out and said, "Yeah, you know what? These things happen."
No, but they don't have. They're not always not going to run it. But the fans see what we see. It's talked about all over the internet. The botch finish. It's all over YouTube. It's all on the blogs. It's a bad finish. Another thing about this King of the Ring stuff, and I said this at WrestleMania, and I keep saying it. Why does he need to come out there after everybody wins a belt, or everybody wins a king or a queen crown or a king? Why do you need to come out there, Triple H? Stay in the back.
I have the answer. I have the answer. TKO wants him to.
Well, then he needs to say no. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. He's running the booking.
No. It's coming up from TKO. They want him to act like Dana. They want him to be.
He's not Dana White. He hasn't. But this is the thing. What I keep saying, he hasn't created anything.
Then you know what? Take it up with Ari Emanuel because this is coming directly from.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know until I see an official report of that. That's what we're thinking. I think he's an egomaniac.
I'll send you the link.
Okay, because what I'm seeing, even if Ari's saying it, he's an egomaniac coming out there trying to get the shine. Dude, that they won. You don't need to come out there. We know you booked. You don't have to come out there and shake their hands, let them cry on your shoulder. Like you get it at Mania. You got your wife out there. Like, dude, come on. Not even Tony Khan does that.
I get it, but this is coming directly from TKO. Well, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because I know this for a fact now, right? I mean, I'm only telling you what I read because I knew this.
Right, but either way, it just comes across like, do we get it?
You look at what TKO is trying to do right now. They want to make this where it's a whole weekend. So, for example, and I don't think they own Power Slap, but they want to do Power Slap on Friday, UFC on
Mhm.
Saturday, and they're going to move WWE back to Sundays, right? So
Yeah, that's not bad, but the fans that watch UFC aren't watching WWE vice versa. A minute market will, but most WWE fans don't watch UFC or vice versa.
no,
So
I
I mean,
get
it's
it,
not a bad idea how they line it up for travel, but we'll
I get it.
see.
But this is what they're doing, and this is why you're seeing Triple H in the things that he's doing,
Yeah,
and maybe he
but like
doesn't want to.
he
Yeah,
couldn't carry Dana White's bags when it comes to this stuff. This is the problem, and they're throwing him out there, and he looks like an egomaniac when he's doing
okay,
it.
but dude, this is coming from them. It's not even
No,
him.
I get it. You may not have a choice, but it's like that's a bad idea.
Mm. All right, so final match of the night: Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes title match. Here's what I liked about it: these guys worked really, really well together.
Yep.
Um, one spot that really stood out for me, Cody does that thing where he lays back on his back,
Mm-hmm.
comes up with the punch. The perfect timing on both guys' part to block that punch. I thought that was a really cool move. The jump off the top rope onto Cody onto the table, they really prepared for it because even the camera, the way they kind of shot the whole thing,
Well,
they
of
knew
course,
what
everything in
spot
wrestling
was coming.
prepared. That
But
was the highlight of the match. He was beautiful. His height, his athleticism. Cody couldn't do that. Logan did it, and that was a great drone cam they had. It was a great footage of it. It was prepared, of course. It was just choreographed stuff, but it
yeah,
was amazing. He nailed it, 10 out of 10. And I said it before on the last show. These guys are going to work hard. Logan's going to have a viral moment, and that splash stole the whole. I think the best move of the whole night was that move.
yeah,
The
no, the
height,
splash
the way
was.
he elevates,
I
crazy.
appreciate the splash, but we've seen it before. But just the way he blocked it, for me, that's the move that stands out for me because I've
Well,
never
yeah,
seen
but
it, right?
Logan Paul's been in the ring with Floyd Mayweather guys. He's been in the ring with super fast hands. So for him, that's an easy movement. For somebody like Cody, who's not a legit athlete, like I know he did amateur wrestling, but not been to the level that Logan's been at. Logan has an easy spot for Logan.
Yeah, no,
His reflexes are he's so young. His reflexes are so fast.
yeah, yeah.
This is like a quick boom for him. Great
Decent
match though. They worked hard.
match. I really enjoyed it. All right, man. That's King of the Ring, King, Queen of the Ring in
Which
the
one do you
bag
like
as
better,
well.
King of the Ring, King and
Oh,
Queen,
King of
or
the Ring,
A?
definitely, the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. I just thought it was a better show. I thought the matches overall were better, just in terms of flow, just the way they built the matches and did everything. I mean, like you said, we're. I had the pleasure and the privilege of being able to watch AEW based on where I was on Sunday. I didn't have any reason not to. Plus, there was really not much else to do at that point in the
I
day.
will say this: you like both pay per views weren't great. Just way to slice a couple good matches. Logan Paul match, great. Randy and Gunther would have been great. Watch finish, so you can't call that a great match because they didn't deliver. They didn't deliver at the end. It's the way it is. Both weren't great, man. The only thing I'll say WWE a little bit 2-3 hours shorter. It's only 3 hour event, which is nice. Only 5-6 matches, which is good. Not every match is 20 minutes in WWE, which is good. Um, I'm going to call it a draw just because there was some good matches on AEW. It's too long. I'm going to call it even, but there's a lot of things that I didn't like. A few things I did.
I'm gonna
Neither
go.
one of these pay per views were great. Neither one
I'll
of them.
go 115, 113 for WWE, in my opinion. Again, just the better flow, like you said.
Well,
Uh,
less matches. But if Randy and Gunner didn't watch the finish, I probably would have gave the Edge of Kingdom because that is a big blunder and that's
you know what,
all
though?
over. And it happens, but it still happened.
I get it, but I mean, the match itself was pretty great, right? Up until then, so I mean, a botch is a botch. It happens. It happens to the best, right?
Yeah, but on the finish like that is what overshadows the match,
It
right?
happens, but I mean, they're playing it off that way as well, though. That they're
They can
using.
play it off all they want. We've seen what we've seen, right?
We've seen what we've seen, but I mean, at the end of it all, Gunther's your guy,
It
and
did.
I think Gunther was going to be the guy anyways. So,
Oh yeah, I know. No, I'm glad Gunther won. Overall, is a little
but
both previews were
going into it
disappointing.
though, but they're already using it as fodder for their promos and stuff. Like Damien said to him last night on Raw, like there's a botched victory, you didn't really win. So there, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to use that as a part of the story going forward, which is a benefit in wrestling, I guess. I mean, you can kind of cover it up somehow a little bit and try to make it what you want. But yeah, man, that's a lot of wrestling over this weekend, man. A total of
Too
maybe
much.
8 to 9 hours.
Too much.
Um, a lot
Both
of
shows were average at best. Neither one of them were great. Couple good matches. Like I love the Logan match. I love the Sami Zayn match. The rest of the card didn't really care for. Osprey match was good. Edge match was good. Um, Swerve Christian match. No, I mean overall, neither one of these pay per views are great. Subpar at best. If you didn't watch them this weekend, guys, you didn't miss much. couple things. We watch them on YouTube.
Overall, WWE wins this round, in my opinion, in terms of just basically everything else. Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. I call it a tie. There's good things and bad things about both, so I'll give it a tie on this one.
All right, brother man, let's wrap it up. We've been going on and on here for a while now.
Yep.
Call it a day and see what the world of wrestling brings us this week. We already have Raw in the bag. We've kind of run a little longer than we normally do here, so we'll see what Raw and SmackDown bring to us this Monday. I don't know what their next show is. It's in 3 weeks, isn't it? Something
like that, really fast.
They are doing most of these PLEs overseas now, it seems like, man. I mean, when was the last time outside of WrestleMania and Royal Rumble? I don't think they've done any shows in North America.
That's good though. It builds the brand, builds the international audience.
I think the next one's in Germany, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
All right, because after that we got Toronto in July, so I'm not sure where June is, but we'll let you guys know all that. All right, guys, it is Tuesday. It is, I guess we're not even halfway through the week yet, but you know what? The week has started. We're in full flow. I always say just do the best you can, be the best that you can, and do the best you can for your family. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. Be safe, be happy, enjoy the rest of the wrestling for this week, and we will be back at you on next Tuesday to let you know what's going on in the world of pro wrestling. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, Willie Nelson. We salute you. And I don't know about the Atlanta Braves, but you know, that's your thing. On that note, Bobby Sampson, Chance Michaels, we are